Hi, boys and girls. Today we're going to do Lesson 5 of Chapter 2's addition. The title of this lesson is Estimating Sums. So we know the word sum means to add things together. And to estimate something is to get it close to the exact number. What we do when we estimate is that we tap into our skill of rounding. So on today's lesson, you will see that I've already set up my page with my rounding tool of 0 to 4, I stay down. 5 to 9, I go up. So at the top here, it tells us that sometimes you don't need the exact number. You just need a number about close to what you think you need. So you find an estimate instead, and an estimate is a close number to the exact number. So I would estimate, how much money I would need to get groceries every week, or how much money I would need for gas, or how many gallons of gas that I might need in my tank. I estimate those things in my head. All right, so here we go. Let's try number 1. The board shop sold 342 snowboards and 637 pair of boots in the last year. About how many snowboards and pair of boots did they sell altogether? So that word's altogether signifies, it should be a red flag to us. It says, uh-oh, I got to add, okay? So it tells us to estimate and round. When estimating, you can round to the nearest 10 or 100, and we know how to do this. There's our tool, and you can see that I underline that in directions. I always want to know what they're asking me to do. So the first problem, they want us to round to the nearest 100, so you can see I circled it and I even wrote 100 in little letters. And the second time I do it, they want me to round to the tenths. I did that, circled it and wrote it. All right, so in the nearest hundreds, I have a 3 with a 4 to the right. So that 4 tells me to stay down in those hundreds, and that would be, I'm going to stay down at 300 and not go up to 400. That's what that 4 tells me. Now I have 600 with a 3, and that 3 also falls in there, so I'm going to stay down at 600, and then I just add those two numbers together. 0 plus 0, 0, 0 plus 0, 0, and 3 plus 6, mental math, 9. So to the nearest 100, the snowboard sold about 900 snowboards and pairs of boots. Now I got to change gears here, right? They want me to round now to the nearest 10. So now I look at the tens and then the number right to the right of it. So I have 342, that 4 with a 2. The 2 tells me to stay down in the tens. So 340. I would not go up to 350. That 2 says stay down. Now 637, I got a 3 with a 7. Okay, so that tells me that 7 falls right in there, and it tells me to go up. So it would be 640. That would be the next 10. And then I just add. 0 plus 0, 0. Oh, 4 plus 4, I like that. That's a double, 8. And 3 plus 6, 9. So to the nearest 10, when rounding to the nearest 10, the board shop sold about 980 snowboards and pair of boots. So there are our two estimates. All right, let's try the next page. There's my tool again, wrote it on there. A board game has $4,140 in play money. About how much money would there be if 2 games were put together? So they tell us to estimate and round to the hundreds. So I'm writing putting the line underneath that, and that's why they have the hundreds highlighted. So with my tool, I look at the 1 in the hundreds and then the 4 next to it. The 4 says stay down. So that's how they got 4,100. They did not go up to 200. That 4 told them to stay down. So if that number would be rounded to that, this is the same number for the second game. So I'm going to just use that number again because they would be rounded to the same. Okay, and then I would just add 0 plus 0, 0, 0 plus 0, 0, 1 plus 1, 2, and then, oh geez, there's a double again, 4 plus 4, 8. So the 2 board games would have $8,200 in play money. Now, sometimes, I'll draw a line there and a big star right here. It says, at times you may not be told to which place value to round a number. You can round to the greatest place value. So as you compare numbers now, you just kind of determine which one is the higher number, which one's closer. That one's going to be the indicator of what I would round to. So let's look at example 3. On Tuesday, the White House had 219 visitors. The following day, there were 694 visitors. About how many people visited the White House over the 2 days? So it gives us the two numbers, and then we have to do some comparing right now, boys and girls. It tells us the greatest place value of each number is in the, well, that's 6 with a 9 next to it. That's a big number, right? That 694 is really close to 700. So that 6 kind of tells me I better round to the hundreds. That 9 looks big to me when I first look at it, but that 9's only in the ones. So I'm going to round to the hundreds. And I'm going to write the word hundreds here. And I'm going to just write hundreds right there too as a reminder to myself. So now, using my tool again, I take the first number, 2 with a 1 next to it. Well, that 1 says stay down. So this top number would stay at 200. And the bottom number, that's what the one that kind of read that red flag in my head and told me, oh, well, you need to round to the hundreds. 6 with a 9, that tells me to go up, right? So that would be 700. And then I would add them together. 0 plus 0, 0. 0 plus 0, 0. And 2 plus 7, mental math, 9. Okay? So about 900 people visited the White House over the 2 days. Great. Now, as you work through your homework problems, I want you to make sure that you're reading directions and figuring out what the numbers they are asking you to round to. This one's a 10 and this one's a 100. So 10s, I got a 1 with a 2. Ooh, my tool says stay down, so 310. And then I have a 27, which is a 2 with a 7. That 7 tells me to go up. So that 2 would be changed to a 3. And so in my head, 310 plus 30 more would be 340. And if you can't see it going across the page, definitely write them down and line them up vertically. 0 plus 0, 0. 3 plus 1, 4. And 3 plus nothing else in the hundreds. There's my 340. Okay. And now the next one, to the nearest hundreds. So 3 with an 8. Oh, my tool tells me to go up to 400. And a 1 with a 2. That 2 tells me to stay down at 100. So 400 plus 100 more would be 500. And again, if you can't see it in your head going across with mental math, make sure you write it down vertically, up and down, and do your problem. Okay? Very good. Now I'm just going to show you one more thing for today. You're going to see this sheet on the first part of the assignment, and I blacked out this area. I only want you to do this one, but I'm going to do one problem in this area. I want you to look at where's the greatest place value, and I'm going to do this one right here. It just stuck out to me, and I don't want this one to trip you up. So if I look at those numbers, again, I got a 9, a 5 and a 9, and that one's kind of high too, a 7 with a 2. So I'm going to round this one to the nearest hundreds. And so watch what that would look like. That 9 tells me, because it's so close to 600, right? 593 is so close to 600. So a 2 with a 7 to the nearest hundreds, that would go up. That 7 tells me to go up. So this would be 300. And then that 5 with a 9 would tell me to go up to 600. And so 300 plus 600, well, really, it's just 6 plus 3 is 9. But again, if you have trouble seeing those or thinking about them mentally in your head with mental math, just line them up vertically, up and down. 0 plus 0, 0, 0 plus 0, 0, and 3 plus 6, 9. And there's my answer, okay? Now this one's going to take a little bit of work, okay? The first time they do them, they want you to round to the nearest 10 and the nearest 100. Let's do one of them. Okay, in this column, to the nearest 10, a 3 with a 3. Well, that's going to be 130. And to the nearest 10, a 6 with a 0. Well, that number's not going to change, is it? Because that 0 told me to stay down. So I'm just going to add those. 0 plus 0. 6 plus 3, 9, mental math, and 5 plus 1, 6. Let's try it to the hundreds now. A 1 with a 3, staying at 100, and a 5 with a 6 next to it. Ooh, that 6 makes me go up, right? So I'm going to go up to 600. And then I just add them. 0 plus 0, 0, 0 plus 0, 0, and 6 plus 1, 7. Okay, I did the first one for you and with you. Take your time and do a good job on those other ones. And now you know what? You got 2 free answers. Besides this page, you're also going to see this homework page and this homework. Okay? Great. Good luck. That's all for now.